That's why I was telling you I want to be in the lead when that white flag drops.
It's
That's exactly
the moment
right.
of caution that will determine the winner. Now, the restart was under review, and I believe they've cleared that. So nothing is yet official. Let's have a look here at the moment that caution light comes on.
Ooh, I think it's, from what I can see, guys, Christopher Bell. No wonder they're celebrating.
So NASCAR has our video, their own cameras around the track, their own optical scanning system, and we will wait for the call.
The NASCAR Cup Series race at Atlanta Motor Speedway on Sunday, February 23rd, 2025, will go down in history as one of the most thrilling and unexpected events of the season. Christopher Bell, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, pulled off a stunning victory in the Ambetter Health 400, leaving fans and fellow competitors alike in disbelief.
Well, Christopher Bell on a green-white checkered finish in what was a wild Atlanta race. Somehow you came from 32nd and found a way to get it done today. As he gets a hug from his wife, you found a way to get it done. How did you do that?
The stage was set for an exciting race from the very beginning. Atlanta Motor Speedway, with its unique configuration, following the 2022 reconfiguration, promised close quarters racing more akin to a super speedway than a traditional intermediate track. The 1.54-mile oval has become known for producing unpredictable and action-packed races, and this event would prove to be no exception. As the cars lined up for the start, few would have predicted the eventual outcome. Christopher Bell, who had struggled in qualifying, found himself starting from the 32nd position. This poor starting spot was indicative of a larger issue for Toyota teams who collectively had a dismal qualifying session. Bubba Wallace, starting 14th, was the highest qualified Toyota driver. Team owner Joe Gibbs expressed his surprise at the poor performance, stating he couldn't remember his cars ever qualifying so poorly. The challenges for Bell extended beyond just the starting position. Historically, superspeedway-style racing had not been his strong suit. Prior to this race, Bell's average finish on such tracks was a modest 18.9, highlighting the uphill battle he faced. As the green flag dropped, it quickly became apparent that the Ford teams had brought strong cars to Atlanta. Ryan Blaney, starting from the pole position, led a contingent of Ford drivers who occupied 10 of the top 11 starting spots. The early laps saw Ford drivers Blaney, Austin Cindry, and Todd Gilliland all taking turns at the front of the pack. The first stage of the race, consisting of 60 laps, was ultimately won by Josh Berry, driving the number 21 Ford for Wood Brothers Racing. This marked Berry's second career stage win and continued the strong showing for Ford. Austin Cindric finished second in the stage, with William Byron, who had started 16th, making his way up to third. Bubba Wallace, the top Toyota finisher, in fourth, showed signs of life for the manufacturer despite their qualifying struggles. As the race progressed into its second stage, the dynamics began to shift. While Ford had dominated the early-going Chevrolet, drivers started to assert themselves. The pivotal moment came during a late restart in Stage 2. Kyle Larson, driving for Hendrick Motorsports, used a push from his teammate Alex Bowman to take the lead. In a thrilling three-wide battle on the final lap of the stage, Larson managed to hold off both Bowman and Joey Logano to claim the stage win. This marked a significant achievement for Larson, as it was his first ever stage win on a drafting style track. The Hendrick Motorsports team showed their strength with three of their drivers, Larson, Byron, and Bowman. Finishing in the top 5 for the stage, Bubba Wallace continued to be the top Toyota, finishing second in the stage and showcasing improved performance for the manufacturer. However, the stage wasn't without incident. Chase Elliott, another Hendrick driver and Georgia native, triggered a multi-car crash that brought out a caution. Elliott, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Chase Briscoe were involved in an incident that also collected Brad Keselowski and Corey Lau Jiao, forcing the latter two out of the race. As the race entered its final stage, the intensity ratcheted up several notches. The lead constantly changed hands, with drivers jockeying for position and trying to time their moves perfectly. A significant incident occurred on lap 184, when Daniel Suarez, the defending race winner, was caught up in a 7-car pileup that also involved Ty Gibbs, Cole Custer, Cody Ware, Noah Gragson, and JJ Yealy. Ryan Blaney, who had started on the pole and run near the front for much of the day, found himself in trouble. With 27 laps to go, contact from Carson Hocevar sent Blaney spinning, bringing out a caution. However, Blaney's team made a strategic decision to pit for fresh tires, a move that would pay dividends in the closing laps. As the laps wound down, it appeared that the race would be decided between Kyle Larson and Austin Cindric. However, with just 3 laps remaining, disaster struck Larson. Attempting to block Cindric's advance, made contact with the Team Penske driver, sending Cindric into the wall. The incident also collected William Byron, who had won the previous week's Daytona 500. This crash set up an overtime finish that would ultimately decide the race. As the field took the green flag for the overtime restart, Christopher Bell found himself in a position he hadn't occupied all day near the front of the pack. Bell, who had methodically worked his way through the field over the course of the race, was now in striking distance of the lead. When the green flag waved, Bell made his move. He surged to the outside, battling alongside Kyle Larson and Carson Hocevar. As they came to the white flag signaling the final lap, the 3 drivers were nearly even. It looked as though fans were in for another photo finish at Atlanta, reminiscent of the previous year's 3-wide dash to the checkered flag. However, fate had one final twist in store as the leaders raced down the backstretch. A crash involving Josh Berry brought out the caution flag at the moment the yellow lights illuminated. Christopher Bell had a slight advantage on the outside line. After a review by NASCAR officials, Bell was declared the winner with Carson Hocevar second and Kyle Larson third. Bell's reaction to his improbable victory was one of sheer elation. He said this after climbing from his car. That right there is what you dream of. Throughout the beginning of the day, we were just stuck way in the back, but that last half of the race, we were at our best. The significance of the win was not lost on Bell or his team. It marked his 10th career Cup Series victory and his first on a superspeedway-style track. Moreover, it broke a winless drought for Joe Gibbs Racing that had stretched back to June 2024. The Ambetter Health 400 wasn't just memorable for its finish, it also set several notable records. The race featured an astounding 50 lead changes among 15 different drivers, showcasing the competitive balance and unpredictable nature of the reconfigured Atlanta track. The race was slowed by 11 caution periods, including 8 on-track incidents. These frequent yellows helped to bunch up the field and create opportunities for drivers to improve their positions through strategy and skilled driving. Joey Logano led the most laps of any driver pacing the field for 83 circuits. However, he ultimately finished 12th. While Christopher Bell's victory was the headline story, the aggressive driving of second-place finisher Carson Hocevar became a significant talking point after the race. The 22-year-old Spire Motorsports driver achieved his career best Cup Series finish, but drew criticism from several veteran competitors. Ryan Blaney, who had been spun out by Hocevar earlier in the race, confronted the young driver on pit road after the event. Blaney said, "Hocevar acknowledged the need for improvement while also defending his approach. He stated, there is some stuff I have to learn and clean up a little bit, but I feel like we put ourselves in the perfect opportunity to win the race. I have never had that opportunity really before, especially on a big super speedway.